No kidding, I want 3 kids. 1 to pursue gymnastics, 1 to take up ice skating, and the third one to be a doctor. So essentially, all of us are in different containers, closed with what the society wants from us. But if the highest score in cricket is when the ball goes outside the field across the boundary, then why do we limit ourselves to containers instead of exploring ourselves in our own way? This world, it's like an oyster for us, and we love living inside it. But some polar opposites taught me new ways to exist. A man taught me how to be feminine in the best possible way. My dad used to tell me how makeup is a form of beautifying something artificially. Something that is the best version of themselves without hiding behind a mask. But then, why do we paint a sheet of paper? Isn't its whiteness as pure as our souls on an early Sunday morning? Or do we choose to hide our scary true versions behind a shade of pink? Nykaa, a brand that sells beauty products, recently released a series of ads called Kya Khoob Lagte Ho, that is meant to encapture how humans look their best versions when they're their most authentic selves. It's just a form of self-expression after all, isn't it? Maybe for you, it's singing in the shower, or dancing in the rain, or even doing a maths equation straight for 2 hours until you figure it out. Or for me, it's simply painting a sheet of paper. That isn't admirable really, but wouldn't our mom still put it on the door of our fridge? Or now, they would put up a WhatsApp status with the caption, "My lovely daughter made this marvelous art piece, clap, clap, clap emoji on her triumph." And my dad's hate for makeup, or I quote, "colored powder and scissor-shaped something that touches your eyelashes." That taught me that being a girl didn't mean knowing the perfect amount of blush. It meant having the equal right to exhibit my identity through my own means. And all our 50 shades of blush are just the ways of loving being a girl teaches us. A home taught me how to let go of another. Most of us here are planning to let go of this home and fly off to some other country to pursue our higher studies. About more than a year ago, I actually did that. So I left my small 4-people family, my friends, and my 15 years of memories back in a small part of Delhi and came here to chase dreams bigger than what I dreamt. So this is where I used to live before, and I traveled about 5,000 something kilometers, and here I am now. Because yes, I couldn't handle my mom's constant nagging, and yet there hasn't been a day when I didn't video call her and kiss her goodnight. Yes, my sister too, like all of your siblings, is the most annoying person I've had to live with. And yet, who do we run off to when we feel weak? Don't get me wrong. I got my freedom, my independence, tons of new friends, and a beautiful 19th floor view here. But I don't get those early reminders to drink water, or to have fruits, or to come back home early at 9 p.m. sharp as well. This transition, it got me stuck somewhere in between the parallels of a life I gave up and a life I couldn't catch hold of. And in between the struggle to balance them both, I lost everything. The other day, I was just thinking, if hypothetically I got 2 tickets for my parents to come watch me speak here today, who would I pass them on to? The people I'd give it to here would probably give it to their friends from ages ago, and the people I'd give it to in Delhi would probably give it to the friends they made after me. So it wasn't long before I started hating this place. More so because of your daily, does your warden take your phone at night? Does she wake you up in the morning? Do you guys get food? Is it annoying living with people you didn't know before? Questions. And for the last time, guys, no, yes, and sometimes. And it would make me angry. Because wasn't it me only who chose to step out of this Lakshman Rekha I drew around myself? And just because things weren't bibbidi-bobbidi-boo, or just my usual normal, I refused to accept this place. But then, why is it that every time I catch a flight, after a month-long vacation in Delhi, I think about coming home? To my amazing roommates, to my cozy bed, and to such a piece of an art of a place that I earned for myself. A country half the size of my home city gave me twice as much love and twice as many memories. Because what is life if a consistent note? Without any drums or trumpets or even an off-key. And if we don't step out of this note and into our glass slippers, how will we ever build our carriage from just a pumpkin? A mosque potted my love for God and religion. I am a Hindu. From our very birth, we're taught these few prayers. In peace, in war, in sanity, in despair, in love, in fear. Those few prayers have always been my go-to. Because supposedly, those few prayers and visiting the temple a few times a month was the escape to all my problems. So why wouldn't I? That was Hinduism and religion for me. But when I was in 7th grade, my school arranged a day picnic to a mosque. These people, they pray and recite the Shahada 5 times a day. They dedicate a portion of their income to other community members in need. During the month of Ramadan, they abstain from food and drinks for a whole month. With that bright chandelier lighting up about 100 people underneath, I look at this one 10-year-old girl wearing a burqa, without her mom or her dad, just with her little brother, who was trying to look and copy those 100 people. My religion became much more than those few prayers to overcome the obstacles of my life that day. I realized how at the place of God, our boundaries fall apart. We are no longer divided by our age, gender, race, or even our bank balance. And that instigated a new love and devotion for God in me. Actually, not even God, but a power above us that unites us all. Om Bhur Bhavaswaha, Ekonkar Satnam. Subhana Rabbiyal Allah, Amen. We all pray for the power above us to rain down blessings upon us and to keep us safe, healthy, and happy. But then why do we let these homes of God divide us into containers of religion again? With a dupatta on my head, a cross in my neck, a qatar around me, and a misbah in my hand. We are all for one and one for all. Okay, give me a raise of hands. How many of you here have been bullied for being a shade different from your classmates? A shade darker than your classmates? I'll join in. When I was in 8th grade, I had this light-skinned dance teacher, and a bunch of us were participating in a dance competition with her. So naturally, she put all the makeup she had on all of our faces. And while I was replaying Pataka, Tripataka in my mind, she was applying foundation on me. Mind you, it was her shade. Probably an off-white on me, a chocolate brown. We didn't win the competition that day, unrelated to the foundation scenario, by the way, but that day taught me something much deeper. That teacher, she taught me how to embrace myself and whatever shade I am. Because not even 50 layers of that foundation can hide us as a person. For all those of you here applying to college soon, and I'll need volunteers for this one, guys, what do you want to do work in college-wise? Anyone? What about you? What do you want to do work in college-wise? Do you know? Okay. Anybody else? Okay. You. Okay, so most of us know what we want to do. And some of us, like me, have no clue. And these answers, right, they're making us anxious. Because we don't even know where we want to be a year from now, where we'll be a year from now. And some distant relative will still impose on us what to be occupationally 10 years from now. Let's do another activity. Close your eyes. Imagine that you're on top of an island in the middle of nowhere, with the sky above you and the ocean beneath you, extending boundaryless to as far as you can see. Open your eyes. Feels calming, doesn't it? Close them again. This time, imagine that you're on that island in a container that tells you which department, in which company, in which country you need to be 10 years from now. But we don't even know what kind of a person we want to be today. Open your eyes. Doesn't this bring up this one question of what and who are we really? Think about it this way. Aren't we all picking up ourselves, picking up a part of everyone we've met in life? Aren't we just a puzzle, a piece of all our experiences joined together to make something beautiful? Maybe a piece of chili chips taught you how to be sweet after burning your taste buds, or a fictional Ye Jawani Hai Diwani bunny taught you how to be real and alive. These imaginary strands that we create around ourselves, between one another, as a girl or a boy, as a Hindu or a Muslim, as a brown or a white, as a commerce or a science student, as a North or a South Indian, or for a matter of fact, from any region of this world. Aren't we just pretty little dots in between an existential crisis instead of loving ourselves and everyone around us with all our 50 shades of blush? Because all we are pieces of each other. And we'd never discover ourselves if we don't transcend out of these imaginary lines we bound ourselves to. So go eat that Mysore masala that you've been wanting to but didn't have because it supposedly ruins your North Indian blood. Maybe you'll find a new favorite dish. Try solving an econs problem once. You might want to change your stream. Go talk to that brown girl because she's much more than her color and yet she embraces herself beautifully. Maybe you'll find a new best friend. Because guys, ultimately, at the end of the day, the choice will fall upon us. Are we going to stand on this island as the sky extends limitlessly and watch ourselves grow into exactly who we are in some third person's eyes? Or are we going to jump off of it and swim in the ocean until we find our wave? I think we know our answer. So step out of yourself, out of your container, out of your oyster, and maybe this world will be a whole new place for your existence as well. Thank you.